Hey guys, John from JC Radio here, JC Interviews. Before we get started on this interview, this is pretty cool. It's a first time for me, first time for JC Radio actually. I had the opportunity to interview a band. Now I know what you're thinking. John, COVID-19's out there. It's going to get you. Why would you go out and interview a band? Well, there's something awesome called cell phones and conference calls. And I was able to interview this awesome band through modern technology, and we had a giant conference call and I had the whole band on there. Now, it may be a little hard to hear some people. I don't know if you guys have ever tried a conference call on the cell phone before. Sometimes it's hard to hear some people. Sometimes it's easier to hear others. But overall, you can hear them. You can hear their awesome answers that they give. This is an awesome interview. A first time for me and JC Radio to interview the whole band through a phone call. These guys are amazing. They're witty. They're fun. They're very talented. Look them up. But without further ado, this is JC Interviews with Amberol.
This is Ken Brooks, and I play the bass.
This is Kyle Balke, and I play drums.
This is Uriah Carter, and I play electric guitar.
This is Zach Hoff, and I also play the guitar.
And this is Kyle Bellinger, lead vocalist. We're Amberol, and you're listening to JC Radio and JC Interviews.
Hey guys, welcome to JC Radio. I'm here with the band Amberol. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Doing great. Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
That's good. You guys enjoying the quarantine that's been going on worldwide?
Well, I will tell you that it's you have to, from my perspective, you have to think of stuff to do. I'm pretty much working from home now, and you take frequent breaks and everything, and it just, you have to think of stuff to do. It's just a different environment. Yet you have to get used to just being at home. Is kind of weird.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
So I've actually really been enjoying it, and I feel like I almost don't want to say this because I'm a tad superstitious, but I feel like, knock on wood, I haven't really been affected by it. I don't have family in Missouri. I kind of just do my own thing, and the fact that I teach guitar is one of the reasons I'm in a band, and now I've just moved all my lessons online. It's only made things easier, not having to worry about traffic and getting to people's homes on time and carrying my material around with me and my guitar. And I basically wake up every morning and load my life into my car and then come home at night, and unpack it all again. So it's been great to just be able to hang out until like 10 minutes before a lesson and then Skype somebody.
Wow. So do you see that as being a permanent thing now?
No, I don't think it's possible. So I teach quite a few different students, mostly guitar, but I can also teach voice, and I have some drum students, and most of my vocal students I've been just having to kind of give homework to and play some things for, because there's always some sort of latency, and we can't match pitch together.
Oh, okay.
Just the way that a lot of the videos work, you can't hear both people singing at the same time. So those will probably be in person after this, but I have had some students say that they would definitely like to do video lessons, at least intermittently, even once all this blows over, because it's more convenient.
So has any of your vocal students done Skype with you and put in auto-tune or did something over the computer, and they're just oh, I've been totally practicing. Awesome. Hey, look at this.
Luckily, they're all pretty genuine. So
okay.
And also lack of.
Your guitar student. Your guitar student puts on Van Halen and just pretends to play. It's oh yeah, I've been practicing a lot lately.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So I announced earlier that you guys are Amberol. Who are you guys? I guess what kind of music do you guys play? I mean, obviously you're a band, but what kind of band?
Sure, who wants to take that one?
Do you guys not know what kind of band you are?
So, Ken, the bass player, he I guess maybe cares a little more about labels than I do, and he said that basically the genre we fall into is alt metal, and that's just because the guitars are usually distorted, more heavy than you would hear in the clean style of music, like jazz or blues, I guess. And we're also influenced in that way, like me and the other guitarist, Zach, we like to play some of the older metal, I think, like Megadeth and Ozzy and
Metallica.
yeah, right. So I played Lamb of God and yeah, just a little bit of everything, So we're metal influenced on the guitars, but Kyle, he sings clean for the most part. He's got just like a beautiful voice, and then we have, I don't know what you'd call the drums and bass. So
I got you.
So you can think of it as like we were playing around with a one-liner that we can give to other people, and so we sort of came up with Metallica got Godsmacked so hard they turned into Seven Dust. So
wow,
if that makes sense.
Unfortunately, that makes a lot of sense. So you kind of stumped me there because I've never heard of the term alt metal before. Do you guys sing about what normal metal bands would sing about, or is it more like just alternate something else? You really stumped me with that one. I've never heard of alt metal before. Can someone please explain to me more about that?
Yeah, alternative metal is like your bass sound is metal. You got the raging guitars and everything that you would hear in like a normal metal band, but you also have elements in there like take Seven Dust for instance. They kind of the groove. A lot of their songs have like a kind of a groove to it, and that lead singer has more of a soulful type voice. So you got a little bit of a soulful edge. It's just different genres that are mixed in with metal as a general. So yeah, it's just different styles of music mixed in with metal. So.
Yeah, I would. This is Zach, the other. I would also say that it has I would call it groove metal as well because I have a lot of background in jazz, so I like to add in some groovy sections and stuff like that. So
I got you.
I'd also consider it to be groove metal.
Okay, that's interesting. So you guys have mentioned like your influence was like Metallica and whatnot. When it comes to lyrics, well, I guess who writes the lyrics and who writes the music?
Well, we all kind of have our hand a little bit into the lyric writing a little bit. I kind of do most of the lyrics, but there's also contributions from everybody that has either a subject matter or a feeling or some kind of something that they can kind of share with me, and I just kind of maybe compile all that and then kind of take what they've given me or something that I've come up with and kind of merge all that together, and we just kind of it kind of melds together
Okay.
lyrically. So yeah, I mean, anybody else want to say something about that?
Yeah, I can talk about it. This is Uriah again. So the first two songs that we had, and the one that we're going to release the single for, "The End Is Beautiful," I wrote poems and sent to Kyle, and then I also just kind of wrote like very, very blunt descriptions of the scenarios that the songs were supposed to be describing, or the life events that they were supposed to be about. So I like to put pencil to paper and try and see what I can do, and then send it his way and let him pick words out of it, and then put the lyrics together from that.
Okay.
So that's part of our overall view too. Like, we all want to be equal contributing creators in this process and use this as an outlet for our creativity, and not just say, oh, we're this type of genre, we have to play this type of music, that means we have to wear these type of clothes, and that's not us, man. So
that's pretty cool. So it's like you guys seem very open-minded when it comes to playing music. Like you said, you guys don't seem to feel like, we're this type of band, so we have to be like this. You guys, I mean, from my perspective or from what I've heard, it seems like you guys are very much like, look, we like this, but we also like this, so we're just going to play whatever we enjoy playing and not worry about labels.
Yeah, and eventually, we'll fall into a category or multiple categories like everybody does. That's just life.
Oh, yeah.
But for now, we're playing what we want to play, and we're seeing what comes out, and then we're just involved in the process.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think eventually, since we're just starting out, less than a year old, so
shoot.
yeah, we just got together like at the end of summer. That's when we kind of finally had everybody.
I think I got with you guys like the end of July. It was like the first time I met with you guys.
Yeah.
Drummer Kyle, by the way.
So, we haven't been together that long. And so I think once we get in the groove of writing songs more often and definitely get out and do some performances, that's going to solidify us gelling together as a band, and then we'll kind of know we can play off of each other. And bands that have been together for like 5 or 6 years, they just kind of know and kind of feel each other out. Our songwriting is just going to get much better after that. So
I got you. So you guys are a fairly new band then. What was it like meeting each other for the first time and playing music?
Zach, you guys want to talk about?
I think this is drummer Kyle. So from my perspective, being the last guy to kind of come in and just jam with them. I think Kyle put a post up on Facebook, on the Columbia Music Collective group, and which I was a part of, and I saw that he was in a band. They were searching for a drummer and looking for somebody serious, and kind of described the music that he was looking for, and they said that it was very Godsmack-ish, and into Seven Dust, and just kind of some heavier metal that I had listened to for quite some time, most of my life, and being out of school for the last 3 years now, which I was a music major at Mizzou.
Okay.
I haven't really had a lot of playing opportunities outside of just the random sub gig, or I kind of play part time in this other band in Columbia called MFU, which is a mobile funk unit, but really haven't had any opportunities to play any kind of music that I listen to a lot, which is what we're doing now. And so I hit him up about it, and we agreed to meet on a Monday night, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Sometime in July, and before we met up, he said, "Hey, learn these 3 songs," which were I think a lit tune and a 3 Days Grace tune and a Godsmack cover. So, I checked them out, and I already knew all 3 of them for the most part, and showed up and jammed with them for a couple hours, and I thought it was pretty smooth. It seemed like we had already played together a couple times, and I guess I think you guys met with a couple other guys after me. And
yeah, we had 2 other drummer auditions. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess they liked what I was doing the best, so
they liked what they heard.
Thumbs up.
They liked how you smacked the drums.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they liked how I beat on the drums.
Nice.
So,
He's the man.
Yeah.
So
he's the man.
So I heard that you guys are actually, most bands, everyone's usually in the same age group. I heard you guys' age group is kind of just all over the place. Is that true?
Yeah. This is Zach, the other guitarist. Yeah, our age difference is quite prevalent. We have, I think, 3 generations in our band, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have.
I don't know if I could be his grandpa, but at least I could be his dad.
Okay.
Yeah, we have about 3 generations. I'm guessing we got 3 people in their 20s, and then Kyle, how old are you? Oh, that's a rude question, but
Ken, I'm old enough to be his dad.
So what's the age? Who's the young? What's the age of the youngest? You don't say who, but what's the age of the youngest?
24.
Okay, what's the age of the oldest?
Oh, gee whiz.
You don't have to.
Let her out.
A lot older than that.
Okay, we'll just stick with that. A lot older.
Well, let me put it this way. This is Kyle Bellinger. I am 47. I'll be 48 in May, and Ken's older than me. So.
All right.
But so the great thing, I think the great thing about since we have so many, all of us are in different stages of life. I think we have that much more life experience to draw from when it comes to songwriting. And I think that's a great position to be in because, things that Zach is going through in life, I'm not experiencing that anymore. I'm getting ready to, the next 5 to 7 years, I'll be an empty nester. It's just so many different aspects of what we've gone through in life that songwriting there's like a gold mine of songwriting that we have can tap into from our own experiences.
Huh.
And I think that's something that's just really, really unique about our band.
Yeah. You always hear about bands, how they all got to be like a bunch of young dudes, either in their teens or in their early 20s. And I know a lot of people, myself even, have been like, oh, I'm getting to the age of 30. It's too late to be in a band. Where like I've met people older than you that are in like touring rock bands, and they're like, look, like age doesn't matter. It's all about like your love for the music. So it's really cool to finally see that like a band as new as you guys, only a year old, is still, age doesn't matter and something like that. It's all about the love.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Let me say from experience, though, that I'm old enough to have been in lots of bands. I've played mostly in church most of my life, and I've been on stage 200 times probably.
Wow.
I've been involved in other bands, and I've tried out for many bands. This was the first band that I tried out where the guys that were interviewing me for the band were not drunk. These guys were solidly, they knew what their mission was. They communicated it well. They were focused on the music rather than the partying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why I decided that if they called me back, I wanted to be part of this band. These guys knew what they were doing. They had a mission. They verbalized it well. They had good musicianship. The guitarist, you just tell them a chord, any chord, a jazz chord even, and immediately they can play it and then play a scale and then make up a song. They are that good, and I wanted to be part of that kind of group.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear, too.
You guys rock!
Yeah! Today, kids, being sober will save your lives.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So you had someone had mentioned earlier about a single coming out. Do you guys have a single coming out?
That we do. It is called "The End Is Beautiful," and yeah. So this song, I know that there's kind of been, at least what I've seen, people stepping forward on social media and kind of being honest about, mental health and emotional health.
Yes.
That seems to be something that people are feeling, brave enough to kind of step forward and speak about that, and being, just being brave in that respect. And so that song kind of talks a little bit about that, the subject matter. And so we really wanted to kind of capture something from our own experiences where we either know someone or related to someone that is experiencing emotional, maybe even mental trauma, and then coming out on the other side of that. So the thing I like about songwriting is that you can instill hope in other people that, hey, I've gone through this, or I know someone close to me that has gone through this and come out the other side, and they're a better person because of it.
Okay. No, that's really awesome because, I think you have a point. People are being more open about it. So for a band to acknowledge that and to write a song about it and to reiterate that it's, I guess, real, so that everyone can hear it and understand. I think that's really cool for you guys to do that.
Anybody else got anything to say about that?
No, this is Uriah. I was going to say, I just wish we could get a date because, we're going to release the single, the audio file, but we're also going to release a lyric video and a really cool graphic for the single. And we just have all these ideas, but we don't have dates set in place yet. So it's really fresh, but we know it's coming out. And with the pandemic, we had dates set and everything went on lockdown. We were hoping to play our very first show, April 24th, April 25th, and that's just not going to happen now. So we're having to rethink our game plan, rethink how we're going to market things, rethink, when we're going to release, what we're going to release, and what else we can give people in the meantime, because this may go on longer than we want it to. And how can we stay involved? How can we let people know what we're doing and keep getting it out to them?
I got you.
So
it's actually it's not any good to not be able to play, but there's so much going on behind the scenes and so much that we have to get done behind the scenes as far as getting social media and website and all that kind of stuff. On the admin side of being in the band, there's so much involved on the back end that you got to take care of. And so this is a good time to get all that, lay the groundwork for when we do have the opportunity to play again. We'll be ready, and we'll be ready to come out, in force.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good. That's awesome to hear. The pandemic is killing everyone right now. Just no work, no music, no anything. But it's really cool that you guys are still excited about everything and still wanted to move forward and not letting it, bring you down. Will there be maybe a quarantine song in the future since you guys are writing about things going on in your life? So.
Isn't there a movie called Contagion or something? We could,
or yeah, something like that.
There's a Netflix called Pandemic.
Oh yeah, There you go. So
that sounds like a metal song.
Pandemic.
And we hope all this is settled down by the time any song that we would write would be ready to go. So it wouldn't be valid then.
Yeah. So you guys have artwork coming out. You guys have a single coming out. Hopefully in the future, you guys will be coming out and playing some shows. Anything else going on in your guys' lives right now? Either part of the band or outside of the band?
For my life, I'm semi-retired, so what I did was gardening today. It was a very nice day. Got the tractor out and cultivated, probably a quarter-acre ground of ground, getting ready for a garden. Really likes to gardening, and so that's what I've been doing today.
All right, that's awesome. The weather is getting better, so that's good.
You asked earlier about how how the coronavirus has kind of changed how we live our everyday lives, or quarantining and stuff like that. And it's like I was gonna say that my every day has not really changed. Like I'm still going to work every day, and don't get to work. I work at Caterpillar in Boonville, which is like a 170,000 square foot manufacturing facility where we make molded parts for Caterpillar equipment. So I guess I am what you could call an essential worker, I guess.
Okay.
Caterpillar as a company worldwide, is heard from the CEO this week that there is no really plan as of now to, shut anything down on the state side. Granted, there are a couple plants that are in China and abroad, of course, but stateside haven't really heard anything. There's just been a couple, I don't know how to put it, I guess facility-wide changes, like with like hand sanitizer and stuff, and mandated like cleaning of workspaces, like pre, during, and post shift, and even like today at work, we got some additional benefits that potentially, if somebody were to come down with this, that it's like extra paid time off and stuff. So really, my everyday is not too much different. But my wife, she's obviously stuck at home. We just had a baby in February.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So it's our first child, so we're still, figuring things out, and she's going a little stir crazy, being stuck in the house and not able to go out. But other than that, it's like, it doesn't feel too different to me, other than that I've noticed that there's been a couple cops posted around in our neighborhood. I'm wondering if they're pulling people over when they leave their house.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
The KGB is after you.
Right.
Yeah. So luckily I typically leave like at 5:30 in the morning, so I don't think they're posted up by then. So I don't have to worry about them.
Great. Now everyone knows if they want to leave, it has to be before 5 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like if you got to go out to do something that maybe seems non-essential, definitely do it when it's still dark out in the morning.
That's not creepy or anything.
Exactly. So this is Kyle Bellinger. I wanted to share just a little bit, and I was going to make a video about this too, but I work for the University of Missouri, and our team is course design and technology, and so we help instructors teach online classes.
Okay.
So as far as from a university perspective, and everybody's talking about moving education all online, we are now like on the front lines of making all that happen for the University of Missouri. Well, it's not just Mizzou here in Columbia, but it's all the campuses now, because all 4 campuses have merged into the UM system now. So it's a small number of people from each campus having to join together to all of a sudden we're all in high gear and we're all on the front lines of getting every instructor at every campus online teaching for every student at every campus. And what a great task that has been over the last 2 weeks, getting that all prepared in such a short amount of time has been pretty amazing. And I feel really honored to be a part of that process. So
that's really awesome. No, that really is. I mean, I can't imagine that being easy in any way, shape, or form. So that's really cool, man. So my final question for everybody, it's the same question I ask every band. What advice do you guys have for anybody that is looking to be a professional musician or to be a performer or to be in a rock band and striving for that dream?
Play, 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 and play. Just as much as you can. And then if you don't have guys to play with.
Well, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
Really though, like even if so before I knew like anything about music theory, I would just try to play things by ear, and I would try to pick out notes, and I would basically make scales and just play the ones I thought sounded good, and you still develop the ability to play, like even if you don't have the knowledge right away. Of course, like now I would recommend doing both at the same time, but whatever you can do with whatever you have is better than nothing. And it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen by magic. Like, you've got to put in the work, you got to sit down, you got to play or sing or whatever it is. And if you have to cry, fucking cry, and then get back to playing, right? Because you're gonna feel things whenever you sit in reality long enough to actually do what it is you think you want to do. So don't back out of it. Don't turn around. If you want to do it, stick with it.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything?
Yeah, I would say that in addition to learning your instrument, whether it be like a guitar, drums, whatever, even vocally, that's your instrument. Learn as much as you can about your craft. Learn about songwriting too. Study songwriting books and write as many songs as possible. They're going to be crappy at first, but the more that you write songs, the better that you will get at it. And also, I would recommend. There's so many tools that are available to us now. Internet, software, different kind of software, free tools that are just online that you can use social media and all that kind of stuff. So all of that is available to anyone that wants to be an artist. They can basically do this on their own. You don't have to have a label or wait for somebody to discover you. Those days are pretty much long gone. So get to know how to do the business of music. There's all kinds of books and helps out there. Just learn how to do the back end of it, like the admin, social media, and all that kind of stuff. You can promote yourself next to nothing. So that would be my advice.
Thank you guys so much for this.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool.